Hi, this is Kyle Amix and Mike DeJulio, and we've decided to optimize a player's inventory in the video game Fortnite. Fortnite is a battle royale game where a player, either individually or in a squad or duo, jumps into a map with about 100 other players, and they gather weapons and supplies in order to survive and be the last one standing and eliminate the other players. So you can collect supplies by destroying, things in the environment, and you can find weapons in vending machines, uh, chests, or just lying around, and airdrops. So, and of course, I think you need to be at least decent at the game for this to help you, but I don't play this game. Fortnite is a really popular game right now, and it has a lot of skilled players on it. So knowing the optimum inventory is definitely beneficial. Also, every round a player only has a few opportunities to try different weapons. So knowing before you go into the match is definitely an advantage. Starting out, we were thinking about what kind of measurements we needed to take, as well as how we were going to go in game and collect the data. Also, in terms of our objective function, I'm thinking about the maximizing the variables and what constraints would have made sense. These are some images of the distances we use in the damage calculation, so short, medium, and long range.
Once we had the number of rounds fired over a set time frame in-game, we moved on to the inventory possibilities and calculated measurements. The inventory in-game allows you to have 5 items split up between guns, healing items, and grenades and utility items. We did not include grenades or utility items because most utility items require a high skill cap to use, and the grenades are typically all around worse than any of the heavy weapons that you will see later. The measurements that we took were damage per second at short, mid, and long range, and this was calculated using the number of shots fired in that set time frame and the damage of the weapon at each range. Structure damage was structure damage per second, and that was calculated in a similar fashion. Healing per second was for the healing items, and we also included maximum healing for the full stack of items. Now, we also only included the highest tier of each weapon because there was no point in including lower tiers as they would just get pushed out. Some weapons were left out at certain ranges because they would be completely ineffective, and other weapons we didn't include because they were all around worse than another weapon that we were already including. We then went and broke the weapons up into separate groups. This was so that the player would be given a variety of weapons instead of one group of weapons or one type of weapon dominating the player's inventory, because it has one stat that overdoes the other stats of other weapons, so that the player has a more rounded inventory to deal with any situation they could find themselves in. Here is our objective function with the values of the damage per second at each range and the healing stats for the healing items. Now we get into our constraints. We had a number of constraints for our program. However, the most important were that exactly 4 weapons had to be chosen. Only 1 weapon could be chosen from any given class of weapons. 1 assault rifle was required, and that 1 health item is required. Other requirements came from multiplied averages to cover what would likely be necessary to effectively survive in-game. The final inventory that we came up with included the assault rifle, pump-action shotgun, compact SMG, and grenade launcher and small shield potions. This inventory gives the player a strong fighting ability at short and mid-range and very good structure destruction capabilities, while also having some ability to fight at distance and a quick healing item to save themselves in a sticky situation.